Good howdy, folks. Welcome back to another James Blackburn experience. Today, I have a very special episode for you. But before we get into that, I'd like to say a couple other things very quick. If you're a regular viewer on my channel, you know that the James Blackburn experience covers any experience in life that I have. Sometimes I'm outdoors and camping, backpacking, canoeing. Other times I'm working on a movie set behind the scenes. And sometimes I have videos that deal with music because I'm a musician and a songwriter and a lover of music. And that is what today's episode is all about. It's about music that's positive and uplifting with a message of hope. And we're going to get right into it because I have a special guest for that purpose alone. So let's get right into there and say hello to Bryan. Bryan, are you there?
How you doing, James?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for being with us today. I really appreciate it.
I really appreciate you asking me to do it because this is what I love to do.
Before we get into this a little bit further here, can you give me your name and the name of your band?
My name is Bryan with a Y, Carman, C-A-R-M-A-N, Carman. And our band is called We Are Resolute, and it has an acronym, W-A-R, war, because we're in a spiritual war.
And can you tell me who else is in the band?
That's me doing guitar, songwriting, and all of our social media. And then there's my best friend, John Makma, who's the drummer, and he does guitars, and he does the bass, and he does all of our recording. So it's just, he's a miracle worker over on that end of it. And then, of course, there's the infamous Dale Thompson from Bride and many other projects that is heading up on the vocal end.
That's pretty awesome, and I understand you have a family connection that one of your family members did some backing vocals. And we'll get into that further, but can you talk about that for a quick second?
Oh yeah, my daughter, Lydia Carman, and I use her a lot in my projects. So when it came to having some backing vocals needed done, Dale did most of them, but we had Lydia come on in on a couple songs, and she's 13.
Cool. We've talked a little bit about who's in the band, and but now I'd like to talk about the history of the band. How did you guys meet, and at what point did you think we need to do an album together?
My friend John Makma and I used to go to the same church. He had just become a Christian not too long before we met, so I was introducing him to bands like White Cross and Striper and Guardian and Petra. He had never heard them because he's only been in secular bands and stuff like that through high school and stuff like that. So he came over to my house one Saturday. We were just jamming, listening to music, and he said one day, or that day, he said, if you buy a guitar, I'll show you a couple things. And that's how it all began. So that started Otherwise Broken. That was a band I had for 12 years, and we were able to do a lot of gigs, but we did get to play at Cornerstone Festival in Bushnell, Illinois. That was the highlight.
We got a little bit of the history of the band now and about how long you guys been together and your other band before this one. You guys are two guys doing music alone. At what point did you say, we need to get Dale Thompson for vocals?
We were tossing back and forth trying to find a singer. And we actually had a lady that has a really good voice. Her name was Holly. And she lives about an hour away from us. And she did come over and start the recording process. But then she had some private issues in her life that it just caused us to have to split ways. So we're friends. She just had issues that needed to be taken care of. So after a while of trying to find a singer, I was going through Facebook, you know how you do, and all of a sudden it says, vocalist for hire, Dale Thompson from Bride. I'm like, oh, there you go. I didn't even hesitate.
That's cool. So you approached him, or did your bandmate approach him?
He had that ad on Facebook, so I said, hey, we'll do it. How much you charge? And then we just private message back and forth until we got it hashed out, and there you go.
That is too cool, man.
Very cool to work with, too. Very open, honest. We've had zero problems or issues working with him. And he has agreed to do our next project.
Very cool. That's also very good news. So before we go on to the next question, I'd like to talk a bit more about the band and Dale. When you guys recorded the stuff, you were together, you and the other main musician in your group, but Dale is in another country. So how did that work when he was laying down vocal tracks and you guys are sending stuff back and forth on the internet?
We record everything and our programs here. So he downloads them, puts them into whatever equipment he has. Then he shoots them to us as a demo. We approve it or we disapprove it. And then if we approve it, he sends us all of it. Like some songs had like 5 or 6 layers of vocals on it. It's amazing. We said when we started, if we change one life, if one life is changed by what we do, it's all worth it.
You guys have known each other for a while. You've been doing music together for a while. You found Dale Thompson, vocalist for hire, and that worked out wonderfully for you. So how did the album get signed to a record label? What was that process like? Did you approach them, or did they approach you, or was it something mutual?
As we were getting songs completed with Dale's voice, Dale and I started communicating on Messenger about, hey, would any of your other projects get a label? And he said, yeah, you need to check out these. So I took those, wrote them down, and I sent stuff to each one of these labels. But the one that kept coming back to me was Rox. Bill from Rox Records is really good. We had a good phone interview. I was impressed with him, and I think he was impressed with me, and everything just felt God moved. But when Bill said, hey, let's do this, and he actually sent the papers for us to sign, I made a little signing video of that too. That was really, really fun. This
is every musician's dream come true, man, and you got to capture the moment, so you'll always remember it. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I had to. I mean, if you know me, when I used to play a lot of basketball, we videoed every tournament. Every league game, everything. So, yeah, I document as much as I can.
All right, folks. Well, we've talked a lot about the backstory of the band and how it came to be, how they got signed to a record label. It's been great. This is stuff I've been wanting to hear since I started listening to the album. So for me, I'm getting excited. I love it. Now we're going to talk about the name of the album and the overall concept and message. So, Bryan, this is, there's the cover right there. I love the cover artwork on this. Can you talk more about the title of the album and the concept here for us?
Shine the Light is the name of our title track. And as believers in Christ, we are to let our light shine, not have it covered up on a hill. Have it exposed so people can see the light, right? So they don't stumble. So if, as a believer, I've got to tell people about Christ. I have to. So that's where Shine the Light comes in. And I actually wrote the song because I found the photos that you see on the album cover. That is from a state park here in Holland, Michigan, called Tunnel Park. And those were pictures from a family that goes through my old church I used to go to, that they took those as family photos. And I'm going through them and I said, oh, I've got to have that. I've got to have it. So I had to wait about a half an hour, about 36 and a half minutes to be exact, because she had to contact her husband to make sure, because that's their daughter in the picture. And once she got the okay, she told me to use it. So yeah, that's no Photoshop. That's the actual sunshine coming through the tunnel.
All right, folks. Well, here we are again. We have another special guest with us, and we're going to talk about some of the songs on the album, and we're going to talk about who the other special guest is and what she contributed to the CD itself. So welcome. Can you do a quick introduction of who you are and how you work into this whole picture?
I'm Lydia Carman. I am the daughter of Bryan Carman, and I do backup vocals on the song We Will See Him and the song Kingdom of Heaven.
Since we're talking about those two songs, We Will See Him, I love every track on the CD, but that one in particular I really, really connect with. I like the message, but I also like the music for it, and the backing vocals are great. Can you talk to Bryan a little bit about the song, and then we'll have Lydia talk about her participation and what she did on that.
It's the longest song on the album, but that's purposeful. And if anybody knows my musical taste, I do not like a lot of repetition. But this song had to have some repetition because I just pictured it being like an anthem. So like You're in My Day, we'd have lighters, but nowadays they have the cell phones where they're going back and forth. And I just think it's an anthem for every Christian.
So Lydia, you did some backing vocals. Can you talk about your experience and what that was like on that song?
It was actually fun. It was like a long process, so I kind of would get a little, antsy.
You were only 12 then, right?
Well, no, when I did vocal, it was like summer of 2018, so I was like 11.
Oh, wow. So she was even younger than I thought when she did it.
11, turning 12.
So what was it like for you? Is this the first time you've recorded vocals professionally for a project like this?
Yes, it was.
Do you have any specific memories or moments that you really cherished during the recording process?
There was this big microphone, and I really thought that was cool.
You got to do backing vocals with a lot of people's favorite vocalists of all time. I'm excited for you. That is super, super cool. I'm honored to get to talk to you because you did backing vocals on a CD that has Dale Thompson. That's awesome. Another song on the album that I really love, especially the intro, just catches you right away, is called Chasing Shadows. Can you talk about that song a little bit?
That song was one of my newest songs after stopping my other band, Otherwise Broken. And I remember sending that to my drummer, John, and he just typed back, wow. So it's one of my first very creative writing songs where it wasn't just Jesus loves you, you're going to hell. No, the main theme of the thing. It was more visual, portraying or conveying a message without being just in your face about the message. You know what I'm saying? And so the shadow can be anybody's sin. You've got your weakness, I've got my weakness. So I didn't want to put one specific weakness, kind of like Paul had a thorn in the flesh, right? And he prayed for it to be removed. This song, that shadow can be anything that distracts you from God. So if you're chasing shadows, you can see your shadow when you're running in the dark, right? And then you can reach down and try to grab it, but you never get a hold of it. And that's kind of like it is when we're chasing after things that are against God.
You're right. You can chase shadows, but you're never going to really catch them.
My favorite line from that song is, the choice you make is the treasure you will find.
Chasing Shadows, check it out. Great song. And we're going to move on to one more track real quick on the album called Mad at God, which it's one of those songs, it just gets stuck in your head. Like I've been singing it to myself since the first day I heard it. I can't stop listening to it. And then to top it all off, it's a music video that you put together as well that I really thought was creative. Way to put together a video without having people in the same room or do a concert together. So can you talk a little bit about, one, the intro on the song, the spoken word intro, and then the message of the song for you personally?
Well, the intro kind of happened humanly as an accident. Of course, God foreordained it, but it was raining pretty heavy outside, and we were recording portions of Mad at God, and we listened to a portion that we just recorded, and I heard this squeak, and I'm like, what was that, John? He goes, I don't know, listen to it again. Actually, it was his chair he was sitting in squeaked during the thing, and I said, man, that sounds like a screen door opening. And then one thing led to another, and it just came out to be somebody coming to the door, canvassing the neighborhood, and we did the voice acting, made a little skit in front of the song. And I think it makes it pretty fun. We actually took the microphone out on the front porch next to where heavy rain was dripping off his patio to get that rain effect. So they're canvassing the neighborhood in the rain. I don't know why, but that's just how it came out. And then his son's dog was there. So I said, hey, if I knock on the door, your dog keeps barking. So let's record that. So that's why the dog has a picture of the dog in the sleep on the CD.
That is cool, man. And I was wondering, when I listened to that spoken word part on the intro, I could hear the rain on there. I was like, wow, these guys really paid attention to detail. They even put in rain sound.
Yeah, what do you want?
Hello, we're canvassing the neighborhood to see if there's any interest in starting a Bible study.
No, I'm mad at God.
We were pretty giddy that night because we're thinking we're making this massive production. But that's how creativity works. So it was a lot of fun. Now the song itself, I debate, and I have debated a lot of atheists on Facebook. Sometimes it gets pretty heated, and sometimes but they always follow a pattern. They'll go to a Christian page, blurt out something, type it out, and then if I try to answer them, they pretend like they're getting along with it, and then you get to a point where they're not buying it, and now they're getting mad. And the very first thing they do is, that fairy tale of God in the sky. So that's where the fairy tale part comes on in the lyrics. So it's just the whole lyric thing.
You guys did a music video for, which I personally, as a filmmaker, found very creative because Dale Thompson's in another country, man, and you still managed to get the shots together to match up in tone and color and style so that the video plays beautifully. I love the song, but I love the video equally as much, though.
The intro has that door shutting, and it says "Mad at God." Well, there's doors, right? Well, Dale sends me a video from New Zealand from the hallway, and it has what? Doors in the hallway. It comes together. I mean, we didn't even plan that. So it's really cool. And then I got the idea of making it into a comic book, because for iTunes and all that stuff through DistroKid is who we put out onto the online stores and stuff like that. You needed to have a perfectly square picture. And I took a picture of my daughter kind of, mad at God. And so I had to use that picture. And the filter I found on an app on my phone made her look so cool in that picture.
I love the way it flows together and the editing and the comic book style. That was really cool.
Well, thank you very much. It was fun.
All right. Well, we've talked about a few of the tracks on the album and one of the music videos. Absolutely awesome. I'm so glad that we got to chat about that a little bit. But now I'd like to ask you more about the future of the band. I understand you're writing new material, and there's going to be a second CD, a follow-up from this one.
The title of the album is going to be Only Human, and it's not saying an excuse. It's more like all the songs are going to touch on the human experience. But the album cover has my daughter on it with a blindfold on, and we did it out in the backyard so it looked like it was in the Garden of Eden. And I had her take a bite of the apple. So she's holding the apple like it would be out in front like that, and it looks really gorgeous. So,
all right, so we've talked about the future of the band, the future of the next album. It sounds like it's going to be awesome. It's going to be some great heavy messages on there that will inspire and help people, which I appreciate a lot. But now I'd like to ask you about the first CD. That one's the one that's currently out and available. Can you tell the folks out there how they can purchase their own copy?
For the CD itself, you can go to Rox Records, ROXX, records.com, and purchase it there. Just search We Are Resolute. And it's also on eBay and Amazon. Plus, let's see, pretty soon, John just sent me all of our WAV files, and I'm going to be getting everything up through DistroKid onto all the online stores and streaming sites, including Rhapsody, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and all that stuff.
Very awesome. And I've noticed behind you there's some merchandise that you have there, and you're also wearing a shirt. Is it possible for fans to find out where those are available and purchase those as well?
ChristianBandShirts.com. Very good stuff. You can see the hat too. And I got a coffee cup and the poster and the big banner. It's really cool. They do a good job there.
And they look great. Who designed your war logo?
That would be Scott Waters, vocalist of, I think it's called Ultimatum, and Vengeance Rising. Very good graphic artist.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Just seeing it on the poster behind you or on the tapestry behind you looks so awesome.
Every item sold, we get $4.
All right, folks, so check out roxrecords.com, ROXX. You can find the CD there. Check out the other websites as well. We'll have them all in the credits here at the end. Check out the T-shirts, the hats, whatever you can get your hands on, because this stuff looks amazing, and you're going to help support a really good band.
We're not doing this for the money or the fame. What we're doing in this video, if it brings that, that's fine, but we're doing it for the Lord, number one. Number two, to have a lot of fun and to bring the message of Jesus Christ to the world. And a lot of people relate with music. So,
okay, folks, well, we are going to wrap up this video here. We had ourselves a great time on the interview. I appreciate it a lot. Make sure you go to the website, check out the CD, go to the other websites for the merchandise, and just share it online. Let's keep this positive, uplifting message going around the world if we can. So we're going to wrap it up here, but appreciate y'all watching. As usual, love, love, hate, hate. Take care of each other.
Reality lost in the darkness of your mind. Chasing shadows, running from the dark. The choice you made is the treasure you will find. Are you chasing shadows in your mind?